Welcome to Still Here, Still Trying with your host, Mike Baker. I've seen Mike carrying more than usual these past few weeks, and truthfully, a lot of us are feeling it. The heaviness is real right now, the tension, the division, the sense that something's brewing beneath the surface. We've reached a point where disagreement feels dangerous, where simple conversations feel like landmines, and where more and more people seem ready to fight each other in the streets, in the comments, in every room they walk into. And through all of it, Mike has stayed grounded. He's still leading, still listening, still creating space for the kind of conversations most people are too tired or too scared to have. This episode is landing late, but it's landing where it matters. In the heart of the chaos, in the middle of the mess, because violence in all its forms will never be the answer. We still belong to each other. And even now, the light still comes back. So wherever you are, whatever you're carrying, know this: you're not alone. With a heavy heart and steady hope, here's your host, Mike Baker.
Hello again. Welcome to episode 14 of Still Here, Still Trying. I apologize, I'm a little bit late this week. It's just been one of those weeks. My introduction wasn't as light and cheery as they normally are. Let's be honest, it's been heavy. It's been really heavy the last little bit. There's a weight that's hanging over everything right now. Some of it's loud and obvious, and some of it's quieter. I feel like there's just a tension under the surface that shows up in the way that people are pulling back from each other. I felt it in meetings. I felt it in the silence of people who used to call. I felt it in my own spirit, the way that I brace for impact before speaking up. And I just got back from DC, which, if you've ever been, it is a place that's built for tension. But this time, it didn't feel like policy tension. It felt like emotional fracture, like something is splintering and nobody knows how to stop it. And I guess that's why I needed to bring this episode here, even if it's late, even if I don't have the perfect words. This one's not about wrapping anything up. I think it's just about staying in it and remembering what's worth to hold on to. There's a page in my book. I like this. I like doing this last time, so we're gonna bring that one back in here. But there's a section in my book, well, page 205, and it's called "Finding Light in the Darkness." It says, "In the hardest moments, it can feel impossible to see the way forward. The darkness of struggle can cloud our vision, making it hard to believe that things will ever get better. But optimism is about finding that spark of light, even when it's hard to see. Resilience is born from the belief that no matter how dark it gets, light will return." Remember that. Light will return. Optimism isn't about ignoring the pain. It's about choosing to trust that brighter days are ahead, even when you can't see them yet. When we face adversity, it's natural to focus on the weight of the problem, the challenges in front of us. But optimism reminds us that challenges are temporary. It teaches us that even in the most difficult times, we have the power to change our perspective, to find meaning, and to see the potential for growth. So even when things feel bleak, hold on to the belief that things will shift. The storm will pass. The sun will shine again. And with each step you take through the darkness, you are building the strength and resilience to emerge stronger on the other side. I hope you enjoy that. That's on page 205 of The Optimist Way. You can find a copy of that in the show notes. But I find myself floating back to my book, during these times where I feel heavy. Today that section just kind of jumped out at me and I wanted to make sure that I shared it. So let's talk about it a little bit. So that section means more to me now than when I first wrote it. Back then I was trying to remind myself not to lose hope in the middle of burnout. But now it feels like the whole country's carrying that weight, like we're exhausted as a people. We've confused disagreement with danger, and we've let go of nuance. We've stopped assuming good intent. I sat in rooms in DC where brilliant people seemed to be afraid to speak, not because of bad ideas, but because of fear of backlash, fear of being labeled, fear of getting it wrong. And that fear, it makes all of us smaller. But light isn't about erasing the darkness. It's about walking through it differently, with open eyes and walking through it with each other. The division doesn't always show up in breaking news. While it's certainly that's where we're hearing most of it right now is in the breaking news, but it also shows up in group texts that go quiet, in family dinners that feel tense, in boardrooms and classrooms where someone says less than they mean to. And for a while, we tell ourselves it's just easier this way. It's easier not to talk. It's easier not to care. It's just easier to cut ties. But the longer we stay in that place, the more we lose. We lose trust. We lose community. We lose the ability to grow because growth requires tension and tension requires safety. I've felt this in my own life too, in leadership, in family, in advocacy work. You speak up and people distance themselves. You stay quiet and you feel like you're betraying your values. There's no easy way through it, but walking away, it just isn't the answer. It can't be the answer. So, I have a couple things I want to add to this piece. So, when we're feeling this tension, I'm hoping I'm hoping right now, I'm hoping that this week, that as you think about this podcast, you think about the stuff that we're talking about, if you can just take a few minutes and sit in silence for just a little bit and breathe, right? We have so much going on. There's so much tension, so much pressure. And I find myself listening to some other podcasts and I'm just kind of aching for this news. But that angst, it seems to settle on my chest, in my soul. And I've noticed like I have not been as bright and cheery lately as I have been in the past. And like it's this tension. I feel this tension and it's really heavy. And so and I know you are too. I know you're feeling it. I know you're spending time just kind of wrestling with what just happened over the last couple of weeks and what it feels like to be in our country right now watching all of this play out. And I think it's going to be really easy to just get lost. And so what I'm hoping, hopefully, the advice for this week is honestly is just find some space to just sit in silence and breathe. Play some music. Just let your soul recharge for a little bit because it's going to be so important. And because I think this is a skill we really have to get good at because I feel like this is where we are now. We are not in the middle of a solution, but I think we're in the middle of a choice. Do we keep splitting apart or do we keep letting this anger eat away at everything that matters? Or do we slow down just long enough to remember that being right isn't the same as being kind? Somewhere in this mess, there's still a better way. You don't have to agree with everyone. You don't. There's nothing that says that we have to agree, that we have to be on the same page. But you can stay human. 100% you can stay human in this process. You can choose presence over punishment. You can hold the line without cutting people out of your life. You can choose to believe that there is still light and that light is going to return, even if it's slow. As I think through where we're headed and what we're going through right now as a country and as a community, I'm hoping and I'm praying that we all continue to just find this spot where we can slow down and recognize that there is a human on the other side of every single interaction. I'm just being me here in this process, and what I want to say is violence is never the answer to anything. We should not fear for our lives. Violence will never solve our problems. That's just not how we do this. We need to find our way back. We need to find our way back to say, hold on. Everybody in this equation, we have failed ourselves, we have failed our children, we have failed our country because we have let it get to this spot. When you look out there and you survey the world and you see nothing but enemies and people that are they're just on the wrong side of what you believe in and you're so worked up, we have lost. We've lost our way. And this is on us. Absolutely. Like, yeah, we vote, we have our leaders, and everybody has their responsibility in all of this, but there's nothing more important for us than to recognize that there is a human, again, back on every single interaction. There's a human on the other side of this, and we need to find our way through this. This is the challenge of the year, of the couple years in front of us. We have to find our way back. What I'm hoping, again, I'm not taking a side on any of this, right? This last couple of weeks has been terrible. We've had lives lost. People are dying in this space, and then it's never right. It's never appropriate. And this is the consequence of when things get sketchy for us. And so we need to find our way back. My plea, I'm begging that everybody just slows down and takes a breath. If anything I'm saying in this podcast is starting to set you off, I'm not here to set you off. I'm here to say, hold on. Let's just take a deep breath and remember what we're here for. We are here to find that space. We need to fight and have that tension to create something better, but we can't continue to tear everybody down around us. And that is how it's not how this works. So we need to look for the light. We need to look for the light. We need to create that space where we're inviting people back into our lives. So I'm going to be shorter tonight. I'm tired. I know you're tired. I can't thank you enough for just giving me the time and space. And thank you to the people that noticed that my podcast was late. And thank you for to the people that sent me a message saying, hey, are you okay? That sure means the world to me. So, this episode, it's not polished, but I hope you see that it's real. I know that we're tired. I know that we're frayed. We are way overdue for grace in our spaces. I am not sure what the next few months look like, but I do know this. We don't have to turn on each other. We still belong to each other. And even now, especially now, remember that the light comes back. Remember that just like you, I'm still here and I'm still trying. And I know that you are still here and you are still trying. So take a deep breath this week. Try to just calm your soul. Try to find that space so that you can recharge. You can come back out of the fog and recognize that there's a whole lot of incredible people around us. We are surrounded by beautiful, amazing people. And we may not agree on everything. We may not agree on anything, but we can respect each other and we can start to tamp down the heat on all of this stuff. We can remind ourselves that we don't need to yell. We don't need to find fault. We need to extend grace and we need to listen. I need to listen. You need to listen. We need to find that space. We can't let the forces that are trying to pull us apart win. And the only way we do that is just remembering that there's a heart in the person that's standing in front of you. They may look different, they may think different, but they're human. They're doing their very best to get through the day. They worry about their kids, they worry about their parents, they worry about paying their bills. They worry about their community. Nobody's perfect. And let's just continue to extend grace. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for being here this week. Have a great week. I'll see you next time. Okay, well, before I go, I want to share a song that came out of this same heaviness that we talked about during this episode. It's called Apologies to the Future. And I wrote it a while ago. I wrote it as a kind of confession, but also as hope, not just for the world that we're living in right now, but for the world we're handing off. When everything feels loud and divided, it's so easy to forget that there is still beauty left, that there are still seeds worth planting, and that we might not fix everything, but we can still leave something better behind. This song is for anyone who's felt like they've failed, anyone who's questioned if the next generation stands a chance, anyone who's looking around and asking, how did we get here? And more importantly, what do we do now? Look, I don't have all the answers, but I do have this. I have a prayer written in melody, a message to the ones who will come after us, a reminder that even in the cracks, love is still a seed, and maybe, just maybe, it will grow. Here's Apologies to the Future. Enjoy.
Dear tomorrow, I don't know your name, but I owe you more than excuses and blame. Writing this down in a world on fire, praying your skies will lift you higher. We burn the forest, we poison the streams, chased our comfort, forgot the dreams, built tall towers on borrowed ground, knowing they'd crumble when the truth came down. If you read this song 100 years from now, I hope we learn to turn it all around. Apologies to the future we stole. Sorry for the cracks in the world we hold, but love's still a seed in the dirt we've sown. Maybe you'll water it, make it grow. We sold our voices to power and pride, let the noise decide what's wrong, what's right. But mercy waits where the broken meet. I hope you dance where the shadows sleep. If you read this song 100 years from now, I hope we learn to turn it all around. Apologies to the future we stole. Sorry for the cracks in the world we hold, but love's still a seed in the dirt we've sown. Maybe you'll water it, make it grow. I can't change the past, can't rewrite the sins, but the present is the place redemption begins. So take my hands, let's plan what we can, and pray it's enough for the child of man. Apologies to the future we stole. Sorry for the cracks in the world we hold, but love's still a seed in the dirt we've Dear tomorrow, I don't know your name, but I sing this prayer all the same. Apologies written on broken stone, but hope still alive.